Request everyone, just come a little closer. Kanhai Gopal Prabhu is very nice.
Hare Krishna. Those who sit in the front,
You will not ask questions to those who sit in the front. Those who sit in the back will get asked questions.
well, you know,
Backbenchers will get asked the questions, right?
the problem is there is no one in the back. Who should I ask questions?
That is why no one is in the back.
Devotees in the kitchen will get asked questions. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारिणी यमुना तीरावनचारिणी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Sri Radha Jai Jai Jagannath Jagannath Baldev Jai Jai Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Radhanatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we welcome all devotees for our Sunday feast program. Just like the universe goes around in circle, the cycle of creation and destruction, we are also going around in circles. We are back to this place again. But we are hoping and praying that we can go back to point B. Is this building A?
Yes.
Yeah, building A. So we keep going from A to B, but we hope that we permanently settle in B. So we welcome all devotees for our Sunday program. It is a wet, cold, not that cold, but wet, cool Sunday, and it's most conducive for lazy activities, especially for a person like me. But we appreciate all devotees coming here for the Sunday program, and the presence of the devotees is what makes this temple. So, with the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here, we will start our discussion for today. This is Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 14th verse. This is the most confidential knowledge. So, we can do a call and response, and then we'll get into the purport, and then we'll do some discussion from there. Satatam kirtayanto mam
Satatam kirtayanto mam
yatantascha dridhavrataah
yatantascha dridhavrataah
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
Devotees can recite. Prabhu.
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
Hare Krishna. Can someone read the translation?
Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, and bowing down before me. These great souls great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. We'll get into the purport. Okay, I'll have to stop presenting to get into the purport. So we are my chapter. By the way, if anyone recalls, last time we did verse number 13. I had forgotten too. I was sitting here and sharing the realizations from there. But last time we did 9.13, and 9.13 was that, O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. And we started out our discussion saying, what is a Mahatma? Who is a great soul, right? Who is a great soul? A person who does lots of donations, does lots of social welfare work. Okay, anyway, no, not a great soul. Bad soul. Sorry, he's a good soul. By the way, the Atma is Nirgun. So how can we say it is a good soul and a great soul? Can you come back for that?
Greater than good soul, less than the.
How can there be a good soul and a great soul? Is there a bad soul?
The extent of the material covering.
The extent of the material covering. Wow, that is one understanding. Yes.
and the circumstances.
Okay. Someone who steals away all the Mahaprasad. Definitely in ISKCON terms, bad soul. So, of course, the understanding is that there is no such thing as a good soul and a bad soul or a great soul. Of course, when we also say the Atma is Nirgun, it means that the qualities of the soul are nothing from the material world. Nirgun offer also refers to not the three gunas or the three modes of material nature. The soul is transcendental, to material modes. So, however, Lord Krishna is describing Mahatmanastu Mampartha Daivim Prakritim Ashritam. So, Mahatma, a great soul, even Lord Krishna is using it, is Mahatma. It's not only Atma. He is Paramatma and he is defining Mahatma. So, he is defining Mahatma as verse 13. He said, they are Daivim Prakritim Ashritam. They are sheltered under the divine energy, in the supreme divine energy. And in text 14, he says that what do they do after taking shelter? Do they go to sleep? They are Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. They are always chanting my glories. They are sheltered in my divine energy. They are chanting my glories, number one. Okay? Number two, they are endeavoring with great determination. And number three, they are bowing down before me and they are worshipping me with devotion. So let's read the purport. Can I have a volunteer? Is this visible all the way to the back?
I think sides.
You need to shrink your.
This side.
No, Roji, what you have to do is you have to minimize your window so it's not
Okay.
full screen. Yeah, that's what. And then just stretch it. Don't, yeah, don't, no. Come back. Come back. No, don't zoom, Roji. Just come back to what you were. Yeah. And then stretch.
Just stretch it?
window.
Okay.
Yeah. Manually. No, to the left. No, the zoom, it goes.
It stretches it beyond the screen.
That's good.
I think that's
Okay, we will leave it at this.
That's a good problem.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Again,
That's fine.
No, it's good. It's not
That's
fair.
good.
You need to come closer, then it's not fair.
The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He's always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he's not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising his holy name, his eternal form, his transcendental qualities, and his uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So, point number one from the purport is, who is a Mahatma?
attached to Supreme.
A Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not an impersonalist, but he worships the Supreme Lord.
You cannot be rubber stamped as Mahatma.
We cannot just create a rubber stamp based on our conceptions. Of course, people who do good activities in the world are really great. We should appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that people have certain goodness in their heart. But according to Lord Krishna, we are reading what is a Mahatma. All right, we'll go to the next paragraph. Any Matajis? Manisha?
One is attached to the personal feature of the Supreme Lord. The Brahmacharya is not described as Mahatma in Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing and chanting about Vishnu, Radha, Ganga are human beings. That is devotion. Sarvanam Kirtanam, Vishnu, and Smaranam, remembering him. Such as a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the ultimate end the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the five transcendental rasas. To achieve the success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily, and vocal, everything in the service of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Manisha. Any points stand out from the second paragraph?
That the Mahatma has a personal relationship with the Lord in any of the five principles, Rasa, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya,
Yes.
Vatsalya.
Yes. The connection with the Lord. The Mahatma is connected as attached, but in what ways? There are five transcendental rasas. Okay, yes.
He is engaged in different activities of devotional service such as
Kirtanam, Shravanam,
Smaranam.
Smaranam. Very nice. Okay. And there is one more point which will connect into the next paragraph. Can anyone point that out?
Somebody who is attached to the impersonal feature of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
It's not a Mahatma.
Yes, that is one thing for sure. Yes, that Mahatma is not, and that is described in the next verse. But yes, again, thank you, Prabhu. Yes,
Firm determination to achieve that.
firm determination. Yes, so such a Mahatma has a firm determination to achieve the Supreme Lord, right? And so let's read the next paragraph so that we can read how does firm determination manifest.
In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like 11th day of the moon, Ekadasi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result.
Thank you, Prabhu. um, I speak this just for myself, for my own purification. Mind hates rules, right? Who likes to sit uh, for lectures? Oh, right.
Mahatmas.
Prabhu said Mahatmas.
Nobody is
Right. Uh, who likes fasting? Of course, if you are a fitness enthusiast, you will definitely like to fast. But our general nature is, say, if I were to say that tomorrow, if Lord Krishna appears to you and says, you can have, how many people in this room like cakes? Rasgullas, gulab jamuns, malpuas, pakoras, puris, samosas. Have I made everyone hungry already? Padma Mataji gave a disclaimer. None of that is in the menu today. So, if tomorrow the Lord appears and says you can have unlimited of that and you will not get any disease, how many of you will still say I like fasting? So, the idea is that we have rules and regulations to control our mind, to bring our mind and our senses. But the mind is always going to rebel against it. But why do we have these rules and regulations? It is to allow us to tune our mind. Right now, our minds are like radio antennas. How many of you have operated like a radio antenna, FM radio? I don't think anybody from the youngsters have actually, right? And then you keep tuning, and you have 98.3, or you want to go to 98.4, but you have to just do a very fine tune. Otherwise, there is static, right? So we have to fine tune our mind, because why? Right now, our mind is tuning into all sorts of sense gratification. It's distracted. It's completely absorbed in material energy. And the moment some sort of rule or regulation is presented to the mind, requesting all devotees to move forward. Now I can say that anybody who is in the back, I'm going to shoot arrows of questions. Yes, devotees can please scoot a little more, please, so that more devotees will come in. And people have to stand at the back. So yeah, we can keep space, and there is more space here. There is more space here. Feel free, and we are having a discussion. Definitely, it's not a class. So, especially to me, the mind is always obstinate, and I know I struggle with it every single day. And the mind comes up with various reasons to find loopholes to not, follow rules and regulations. Uh, and we always try and avoid what is good for us, right? And our situation is just like a person who is addict. A person who is addict, whatever we tell them, nothing really goes in, and they find different ways to avoid, doing the right thing. One time, there was a man who was a pakka, whatever positive word comes in your mind, assign it. And no matter what his family would say, he would not listen. Yeah, I have nothing against anybody who drinks, but then again, each activity, as the Bhagavad Gita is not a book of law. That's like God is standing with a rod in his hand and ready to throw a thunderbolt the moment somebody picks up a bottle of alcohol, right? It's a book of actions and reactions. It just talks about every activity has a subsequent reaction. So you decide how you want to act. Yad ichchasi tatha kuru. That's Lord Krishna's instruction to Arjun in the end of Bhagavad Gita. Now, this person is losing so much money, and yet half of his income is spent on alcohol, and his family is struggling to explain to him. And they were sitting on the TV, and on the TV there is a news flash. Something has happened, and that is driving all the prices of the alcohol up. So his family gets excited. So less vodka from tomorrow. So he looks at his family, closes his eyes. No, less food. Right? So a person will do whatever they want to keep attached to that anchor of material enjoyment. So our mind is also like that. The moment we give it something, it's going to rebel and reject. But then the answer is given to us. We have to, with great determination and strictly observe these rules and regulations. But also, we have to remember that the purpose of our life is not to just follow rules and regulations. Okay. What is the purpose of driving? When you sit in the car, you decide today I am going to follow every the traffic rule at every signal, the light. I'll never cross whenever it is yellow, or I will never cross the solid line that is intersection in between. What is in your head when you are sitting in your car? I'm going to follow all traffic rules today. Why do we have traffic rules? To keep us safe, to reach safely, to regulate, to guide us to our destination. So also, and this is a great analogy given by His Grace Chaitanya Prabhu, and I love this very much. So, which is why I'm sharing here. Like, these rules and regulations are mere guidelines to allow us to keep progressing towards our destination. And the goal of our life is also not to just sit and keep counting the rules we are following, the rules we are not following, but to keep progressing towards ultimate destination. By the way, what is our ultimate destination? Devotees can share according to their rasas. Right? Someone who likes deity worship and to worship in honor and reverence, it is Vaikuntha Dham. I want to go to Lord Vishnu, Lord Venkateshwara, Lord Balaji. Somebody who loves Narsimha Dev, I want to go to Lord Narsimha Dev. Somebody who loves Maryada Purushottam, Pran Jaya Par Vachan Na Jaya, I will go to Ayodhya Dham. somebody who loves the Tribhanga Lord, the three, the super mischievous, the supreme thief. They will say my destination is Golokaram, but all destinations are correct. The destination is a spiritual connection to re-establish. There is a light bulb that has been turned off, and every now and then there is a little spark in there. So our job is to just tighten this bulb back in the socket so that the light is just always on. Okay. So with great determination. So as we are talking about determination, I also request all devotees to pray for me that I get some determination to continue my practices. And that's the last paragraph of this purport. Let's get into it. Who can read?
As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can give this life a devotional service. He can live this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position and anywhere in the world. He can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul.
Thank you. Okay, what do we learn from here?
Devotional service is easy.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. The class is done. No, yes, it is. It is. Actually, that's the essence of this paragraph. What else? What else stood out to devotees here? What did we read from here?
The ashrama doesn't matter.
Sorry?
The ashrama doesn't
The ashram doesn't matter. Nice, very nice.
Guided by an expert spiritual master.
Guided by an expert spiritual master. Wonderful, wonderful.
Devotional service is supposed to be done in happy mood.
In happy mode. Yes, wonderful. What do our teenagers think? Yeah. Whatever you say, bro. That is so true. And, the stereotypical notion of a spiritual life is and of course, spiritual life is a serious subject matter, for sure. There is no doubt. It's not that we are saying that be a Yahoo of any sort, become a jungli, and do whatever you like, whatever you want. No. But then, despite the fact that there are rules and regulations in devotional life, it is a happy process. It is to be performed in a happy mood. It is joy giving. One doesn't need to undergo any severe penance and austerity, right? And one, as someone rightly pointed out, that one doesn't also need to give up their household life and go to the forest. Typically, whoever gets interested in spiritual life gets very interesting designations. Anybody got something interested when they got connected with spiritual life? Yes, you got sannyas. Oh. Sadhu. Oh, अरे तू तो साधु बन गया. What else? Does anybody have any other interesting nickname they got? Babaji. To be honest, that was my nickname when I got connected with devotees. Babaji! Babaji has come. And what is Babaji going to do? Babaji is going to bestow gyan. But does one need to become Babaji to be spiritual?
No.
Yes? No? Maybe?
No.
Whatever I say? No. Yes, as Srila Prabhupada is describing, one can be a householder, which means not like the one who is holding his house, but one can be a married person, have a family. One can be a sannyasi, detached from the world. One can be a brahmachari, a celibate who's trying to achieve sannyas. Any position, anywhere in the world. Does anybody have to be a king? Do you have to be the CEO of a multi-billion dollar company? No? Yes? Maybe. Okay. Do you have to be poor to be connected with God? Sometimes people say that Bhagwan to garibo ka hai. That God is of poor people.
Deen Dayal.
Is Deen Dayal. some social reformer, of course I won't name names, but um, he named people Harijans because they were so exploited, abused, downtrodden, that these are people of God. So, do you have to have any social designation to be a person connected with God? No, the Bhagavad Gita says that none of these things is required to be connected with God. It doesn't matter what your social status is. Does one have to be born as a Brahmana?
No.
Does one have to be born as a Kshatriya, a Vaishya, Shudra, Mlecha, Yavana? I don't know, I'm running out of categories here. Chandala. What not? There is no limit. There is no restriction in that. So that is why Lord Krishna is saying here what? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. That always chanting my glories. Who is a person who is a Mahatma, who is connected to God, is a person who is always chanting God's glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. Shishi Gauritai ki jai, Shishi Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So, I want devotees to keep in mind this last paragraph that especially said it can be performed in a happy mood, and we'll get back to that more. Yeah, can devotees again requesting everyone to please shift forward. We apologize again. We usually have our programs in the back in the main temple hall here, but this is our makeshift arrangement. So that's a bigger hall, bigger capacity. So we're requesting devotees to come forward as they can. So with this, because we are supposed to be singing the glories of the Lord, and what's coming in the coming week? Haribo. So we will start glorifying the Lord in his different incarnations, and then we'll talk about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So with that, we'll get on with our presentation. My apologies, I haven't been able to complete the presentation, so the slides, everything is kind of messy, but we'll go through it anyway. So we'll do again a little bit of a call and response. Can you get Madara? Yeah. प्रलयपयोधिजले धृतवानसि वेदम् विहितवहि प्रचरेतमतेदम् केशवरेतामीनशरीरा जय गणेश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे So Srila Prabhupada said that on the appearance day of a Vishnu Tattva or Vishnu Avatar, especially, one should sing the Dashavatara Stotra. This is written by Srila Jayadev Goswami, and it's an auspicious prayer. We'll go through it and we'll know what it contains. Of course, all devotees know, but just to relish it more, we'll go through this. So, can someone read the translation?
O Keshtava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a god in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation.
Hare Krishna. So this is what incarnation of the Lord? Matsya. Mean Matsya, mean fish. Machli. Come on, man. Really? What are you talking about? How is how is God fish? What is fish? Is something fishy here? What species was he? Was he a goldfish? I hope he wasn't a goldfish, right? Goldfishes have the least amount of attention span. What is it? 8 seconds? Well, we humans have descended below goldfish. Our attention span nowadays is less than that of a goldfish. Anyway, so what was he? Shark? Whale? So, this is the Supreme Lord. Anadim Anantarupam. Achintya. Achintya Guna Swarupam. He is Achintya. He is inconceivable. He can take any form he desires, he wishes. Why did he appear as a Matsya avatar?
Preserve the books.
To preserve Vedas. Vedas. Now this is where we dive into our I don't know what the right term is. The time cycle. The Kala Chakra. We talked about Chakra in the beginning. So Lord appeared as Matsya avatar twice. One was in Swayambhuva Manu. And the day of Brahmaji has 14 Manus. It's 1000 kalpas. Each Manu has about 72, 71 or 72 Divya cycles. Does anyone know what happens at the end of Kali Yuga?
Right.
Everything gone.
Partial devastation happens and universe is filled with complete water.
Yes. There is a partial devastation at the end of Yugas. Right? Brahmaji's day has thousands of cycles. 14 Manus appear during that time. One of the first Manu was Swayambhuva Manu. And when the day of Brahmaji is ending, the Brahmaji's nights are equally long. So as Brahmaji's days are coming towards coming to an end, Brahmaji is exhausted, tired. Has any of you ever tried to build a house? Yes, no, maybe. Have any of you ever tried to build a model house? Have any of you tried to build a house with a paper and pen and colors crayons? Please, at least one thing. Yeah. Okay, building with a paper and a pen, not exhausting, right? And then maybe a small model house, a little more exhausting. Maybe you have to go to Hobby Lobby, you have to get the glue that you want, you want to go get the sticks, you want to go get the colors, you want to go get all the fancy stuff you want to put on it. Have any of you actually tried to build a house? No, right? Yes. And how is the process? Very difficult, right? You have to go behind each contractor, you have to go get the tiles, you have to go. Okay, how many of you have been involved in making your own homes? Some of you, right? You have to go to the design center, you have to select the tile, you have to select the color of the wall, you have to select where will the light fixture be. You imagine Brahmaji, what was his job? He created the universe. What is the circumference of the earth? 24,000 miles. Okay, we are trying to get our temple ready here. And I think we have a good team. Yet we are all tired. Just by looking at the list. What is Brahmaji's job? He is creator. So of course he is tired, man, at the end of his day. And as Brahmaji, what is Brahmaji's body made of? Like you go and go and do a blood test for Brahmaji? I want to see what your hemoglobin is. What is Brahmaji's body? Brahmaji's body is just made of intelligence. It's just like Lord Krishna describes, there is five basic gross elements. There are three subtle elements. Brahmaji's body is just intelligence. It's just pure, completely. It's a subtle body, right? And out of Brahmaji's four mouths, what is coming out? The four Vedas, right? It's not about gossip about four different neighbors from four different mouths. From Brahmaji's four mouths, four different Vedas are emanating. Brahmaji is tired. And from Brahmaji's mouth, the Vedas are emanating, and a demon called Hayagriva steals the Vedas from Brahmaji. And that is when the Lord appears as Matsya Avatar. And he kills that demon and reclaims the Vedas, the Vedic knowledge. But then again, the Lord appears as Matsya Avatar in Chakshusha Manu, which was the Manu right before this. Right now, we are in Vaivasvata Manu, the seventh Manu. Towards the end of Chakshusha Manu's rule, the Lord had appeared again as Matsya Avatar and why did he appear then? He appeared then again to preserve the Vedic knowledge. And there was a king, and maybe someone can read this. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto 24th chapter 61st verse. Can someone read? Is it visible in the back?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone can read.
Here is a summary of Satyavrata's meeting with the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's purpose was to take back all the Vedic literatures from the demon Hayagriva and restore them to Lord Brahma. Incidentally, by his causeless mercy, the Lord spoke with Satyavrata. The word Satyavratanam is significant because it indicates that those on the level of Satyavrata can take knowledge from Vedas delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Lord is accepted as Veda. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Krit, Veda with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the compiler of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. Therefore, anyone who takes knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or from Bhagavad Gita as it is, knows the purpose of the Vedas. Vedas cha sarvair aham eva vedya. One cannot understand Vedic knowledge from the Vada Ratas who read the Vedas and misconstitute their subject matter. One has to know the Vedas from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 8, Canto 8, 24-60.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this is a summary. There was Maharaj Satyavrata. Let's see, I'm just looking at how much can we get into the pastime. Maybe we'll get into this one and we can just briefly touch upon the other ones. At least let's do one pastime very nicely. Maharaj Satyavrata was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. And what is a great king?
Who takes care of the people.
Who takes care of the people. What else?
Who follows dharma.
Who follows dharma. Very nice. Yes, wonderful.
Who sets an example, good example.
Sets an example. Yes, very nice. Compassionate. Yes.
Humble, understands that
Humble.
God is supreme.
Yes. Very nice. Understands God is supreme. One who distributes free gold.
Who can protect his kingdom. And
Who can protect his kingdom, who can protect his citizens, his subject, his praja. All are correct answers. But one answer stands out of it because he is a follower of dharma. He protects dharma. Maharaj Satyavrata is one such person because he is connected with divinity. That is why, our modern day entertainment industry always projects kings as drunken people who would always had a grape in their mouth and a wine glass in their hand and probably 50 other people dancing around them and they were just having fun. But that's not the concept from the Vedas. That's not even in the scriptures, the Shastra. Yes, there were definitely people who were misguided, who were distracted like that. But the Vedas talk about Raja Rishis. They are rishis in the dress of a king. Maharaj Satyavrata is one such person. So Maharaj Satyavrata was doing his evening prayers. I forget the name of the river.
Krituma.
Krituma. Yes, thank you, bro. There he is, our expert. So he was doing his prayers, and as he is taking the water from the river and is offering ablutions, he sees a small fish in his hand. Okay, and what would you do? You will just put it back in the river. And so Maharaj Satyavata, he just puts it back in the river, and the fish talks to him. My goodness, the fish talked. I would freak out, right? Fish talking to you. We've only seen that in what movies. But again, don't forget, this is the Supreme Lord in his mystic incarnation, and he's talking, my dear king, please don't release me in this river. There are many other creatures who will kill me. I'm a very tiny fish. Please take me under your protection. I am under your protection. So Maharaj Satyavat, he looks at the fish and he said, okay, I'll take him. Right? He's a king, and the king's duty is he takes pride in giving protection. So he takes the fish, he takes it in a small jug with him, and takes it back to his kingdom. Keeps it for the night. By morning, he wakes up. The fish has grown in size, is completely in the jug, like in the size of the jug. And the fish is now talking again. And the fish is talking, saying, my dear king, I'm under your protection, but this space is not enough for me. Can you please put me in a little bigger water body? So Maharaj Satyavata thinks, okay, I'll take you. And then he takes and puts him in a well. And the moment he puts him in the well, the fish grows in size, completely blocks the well. And now again, it's talking to Maharaj Satyavata. So Maharaj Satyavata is completely like, what is going on here? Why is the fish still talking to me? Maharaj Satyavata is, please take me to a larger water body. This space is too confined. I am under your protection. You can give me protection. Please take me. So he takes the fish from there, takes it to a lake, puts it in the lake, it grows. The lake is filled with the fish. And now he's like, please put me in a bigger lake. He puts him in a bigger lake. The lake is again filled. It's like, I think I'll take you to the ocean. And the fish again says, no, please don't take me to the ocean. There are bigger fishes that will eat me. And now Maharaj Satyavata understands. Why? How does he understand? Chamatkar. I got one fish. That fish became big. It is a big fish. This is God. How does Maharaj Satyavrata understand that it is Supreme Lord?
Maybe his connection to
Talking.
Paramatma.
Yeah, he is. Sorry, you were saying, Prabhu?
Just some intuition.
Just
Through
some
his knowledge.
some
wisdom.
intuition. God. That is why the word Satyavratanam is significant, because one has to be on the level of Satyavrata to take knowledge of the Vedas. Why? Because Satyavrata Maharaj is realized in his God. Personalities like these, when they meditate, they can actually see the form of Lord Vishnu right in front of their eyes when they close their eyes. When I close my eyes, I only think of prasadam. So, and that is why, because he's connected, he's tuned, his radio is perfectly in shape. He can understand that this is the divine Lord, and he starts making prayers. Oh, what fantastic prayers he makes to the Lord. And then the Lord tells him that the devastation is going to happen. My dear Satyavrata, you please take all the seeds, herbs, all the Vedas, all the priests, sages, you preserve them. So when Kali Yuga ends, it's not like everything is destroyed, all the good and the bad. The good is always preserved in the form of a seed. Now it can be literal, it can be, not anything. Sorry. Anyway, so it can be a literal seed, or it can mean that it goes in the form of seed, that it is it is unmanifested for some time. So all the goodness, you take all the divine knowledge and everything, and a boat will come when the waters of the flood rises. A boat will come, and you know what you will have to do. I have one horn. Matsya Avatar manifested as it has a divine horn there. There'll be a great snake, Vasuki. It'll be bound to that. You take the boat, bind the boat with Vasuki to my horn, and I will wade you through the waters. This is the original wade in the water. Now, this is how the Matsya Avatar of the Lord actually also helped Maharaj Satyavrata preserve the Vedic knowledge and the Vedic wisdom and the sages and the saints and all of it, with him. So this is Matsya Avatar. Shri Matsya Avatar ki. In the Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, Lord Krishna says that fools deride me when I appear in this human form. Avajananti mam muda manushim tanum ashritam. As I descend in this human form. Right? So to add even more misery to such people, the Lord appears in even more varieties of incarnations. You cannot accept me as a human, I'll come as a fish. You don't accept me as a fish, I'll come as a turtle. Your ninja turtles are nothing in front of me. You think you're bewildered with turtle? I will come as a pig, as a boar. Varaha avatar. You cannot take me as a boar. I will mix it up. I will be half animal, half man. Right? So, क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव प्रेष्ठे धरणिधरण किल चक्रगरेष्ठे केशवधृता पूर्वशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे कपि तव प्रेष्ठे धरणिधरण किल चक्रगरेष्ठे केशवधृता पूर्णशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. O Keshav, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a tortoise, all glories to you in this incarnation as a divine tortoise. The great Mandara mountain rests upon your gigantic back as a pivot for the churning the ocean of milk. From holding up the huge mountain like a large scar like depression is put on in your back, which has become the most glorious. We have 5 minutes to cover the rest of the incarnations. How is that? Okay, anyway, we won't get into this pastime that much, but we all know the churning of the milk ocean and the demigods and the demons. There is always this transcendental fight. There are always two kinds of people in this world, right? And we always have to decide which side we want to be. Sometimes what happens within us, and especially for sadhakas, is both the sides manifest inside only. Sometimes we are vehemently inside, internally struggling like a demon, and sometimes we are so divine. So anyway, here is a very interesting passage that I just glanced at. This is Srila Prabhupada, I think this is Srimad Bhagavatam 12:13-2. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as Kurma, a tortoise, his back was scratched by the sharp-edged stones lying on massive whirling Mount Mandar. And this scratching made the Lord very sleepy. Okay, these are Leela avatars, right? Sometimes we also scratch, right? Especially when someone asks us a question and we have to lie. Where were you yesterday? Right here. But this is his pastime, this is his Leela. May you all be protected by the winds caused by the Lord's breathing in his sleepy condition. How is our breathing in our sleepy condition? Right? There, go in the morning and we all know how it is. And then we have all the toothpastes with activated charcoals and salt and whatnot and divine substances just to get rid of the foul smells and everything. But here's the thing, this Shukdev Goswami is saying that may the Lord's breathing in his sleepy condition protect you. Right? Ever since that time, even up to present day, the ocean tides have imitated the Lord's inhalation and exhalation by piously coming in and going out. What happens when the Lord is breathing? Universes are coming out. My God. Sometimes in my sleep, when I have a very scary dream, perspiration comes out. What is the maximum thing that comes out of our body? Anything that comes out of our body is gross and disgusting, right? Except for mothers. Mothers are divine because they give life. They give what comes out of the mother's body is all auspicious. Mother's milk is good for for the baby. The baby comes out of the mother, right? Divine progeny. But yet, whatever comes out of our body is gross. Lord's breathing is so auspicious, and a meditation is shared here by Shukdev Goswami that the Lord's breathing will protect you if you meditate on that, right? Here is an interesting twist, and that is why, as we read in the beginning, as Mataji correctly pointed out, that Vedic knowledge is not that you just take up a book and you have it all. Everything is in here. It has to be practiced under the guidance of a spiritual master. And so this is a purport description from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Let's read. Let's have a volunteer.
At times we elevate an itching sensation by blowing upon it. Similarly, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that breathing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can elevate the itching sensation within the minds of mental speculators, as well as the itching of the material senses of conditioned souls engaged in sense gratification. Thus, by meditating on the windy breath of Lord Kurma, the tortoise incarnation, all categories of conditioned souls can be relieved of the deficiencies of material existence and come to the liberated spiritual platform. One must simply allow the pastimes of Lord Kurma to blow within one's heart like a favorable breeze. Then one will surely find spiritual peace.
Isn't it so powerful? One must simply allow the pastimes of Lord Kurma to within the heart. And then one will surely find a spiritual peace. Otherwise, material happiness has been called what? It has an itch. In Hindi, we call it kujli. हम सबको कुजली है. We all have kujli. And we are actually, if you see, material happiness is just scratching the material senses. Nothing else. Right? But the favorable breezes of the Lord's pastimes. Right? Say if you have a terrible itch, a rash of some sort, what's the best remedy? Keep itching. Now it is white color. Yeah, slowly turning red. Itch more. Okay, dark red. Blood coming out. Oh wow, it is so nice. Wait, is that the way to treat an itch? No, we just apply a soothing lotion. Maybe an antifungal, antimicrobial of some sort. The Lord's pastimes are a favorable breeze. Sorry for the sound effect. Okay. Now here is what we will do. We will just go through the entire Dashavatar Stotra and we'll read the translation. We'll just quickly go to the next part of that. So I'll stop the presentation here. So we saw Matsya Avatar and we saw Kurma Avatar. We didn't even talk about Varaha Avatar and the other avatars. Maybe we can save it for the next time. So what we can do, वसति दशन शिखरे धरणी कमलाना शशि कलंक कले मणिमाना शबरीता रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे अवतार कमल वरेण्य कर केशवदेता हरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जलयसि विक्रमणे बलिमातुतमामय वदन करीय केशवदेता मन रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे क्षत्रिय रुधिरमये जगन्नाथपापम् सुखयसि भयसि शमितप्रतापम् केशवदेता विभूति रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वितरसि दिक्षुरणे दिक्पति कमनीयम् दशमुखमौलि केशवदेता रामशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे भगवती खुशी शरे वसनं जलदाभम् बलहति दीर्घनिर्दयमुलाभम् केशवदेता वरदरूपा जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नीन्दसिया कविदेवः श्रुतिनाथम् सदय हृदय शुभपशुनाथम् केशवदेता भूतशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे चली बहारी धरी कलयसि करभारम् दूरे दूरी भगिमतिकरारम् केशवदेता धरति शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश जय देव Shri Dashavatar Stotram ki jai. So now the class starts. Why did we sing Dashavatar Stotram? Today is not Mahaprabhu's appearance day. Satatam Kirtayantamam. Yes, we started with that. That was our launch pad. So, because we are running out of time, I'll just go to the point. Each of these avatars of the Lord have accomplished something by appearing, by coming onto this earthly plane and appearing in front of us. But there is a very great Vaishnava poet who talks about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you know what does he talk about him? Param Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabavatar Sarashiromani Kevalananda Kanda. Mahaprabhu is the essence of all incarnations. We just barely touched Matsya Avatar. Like we touched the surface of the water. We didn't even dive 1 feet, 2 feet, 100 feet. All these avatars, they came. Why does the Lord appear? Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha tushrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami viveyoge. I appear time and again to बहुत मस्ती करता है, someone too mischievous, last bencher pull their ears, right? And the first bencher, very nice student. Sadhunam who are aligned with the Lord, I reward them. In all these incarnations, the Lord has destroyed demons, has established loving relationships with specific devotees. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came on this earthly planet to give love of God. Those 3 words, those are heavy bombs in terms of spiritual understanding. That he shared indiscriminately. He sold himself. I'm giving myself to you. You come take me. Take me with you. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Imagine God coming to you and telling you, please take me. Please take me, Baba. What to speak of that? He is coming into you. Nityananda Prabhu is holding a straw in his teeth like a humble beggar, falling onto the feet of people and saying, please take the names of Hari. Please be reconnected with me. I'm requesting you. Trust me. Have faith in me. Be reconnected and your heart will experience the greatest joy that you've been looking for, not only this lifetime, but for millions of lifetimes. You've been scratching an itch for far too long. Please take this divine. So that is why, and we didn't even go to the pastime. So here's a prayer, here's a meditation to devotees, and with that we'll conclude. That as we go back to our respective homes, each of these Dashavataras have manifested leelas and pastimes, and we can meditate on how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested all of them in his incarnation. All of those leelas accomplished and he accomplished the highest purpose of all these incarnations, right? And that is why what we will do in the coming week, which is the most auspicious occasion of Sri Gaur Purnima, Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishwas Kori Vishaya Chadiya Sera Se Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Hari. Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. And before we conclude, we should always remember that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came into our lives because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Right? यदि प्रभुपाद ना होय तो तबे के होय तो केमो ने धरिता no, what is जीवन बहित किसे निताय गौरेरा अपार करुणा. What is it? Well, the translation stands that how would we even get to know the mercy of the Supreme Lord's incarnation? We would just dismiss it. We would not even understand it. It is Srila Prabhupada who took so much pain and sacrifice, and it is the mercy of the great and devoted followers of Srila Prabhupada who have brought this to us. So with that meditation in our hearts, we will go back and we will get together on Sri Gaur Purnima to glorify Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For those of you who don't know who we are talking about, we welcome you next week. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Kanhai Gopal Prabhu. Please give another round of applause for Prabhu. I didn't get a chance to introduce Kanhai Gopal Prabhu because when he started speaking, everyone here knew him. But whenever we read the purport of this verse, and it says devotional service is performed in a happy mood, I always think of him because Prabhu is always smiling, especially when he gives class, whether he gets only 20 minutes to give class or like today where he bravely attempted to cover Dashavatara in a 1 hour class segment. So thank you so much, Kanhai Gopal Prabhu. And as Prabhu said, we'll be speaking more about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next Sunday. So please give another round of applause for Prabhu for that.